Ready to tip it off. Gonzaga and Norfolk State, the 1-16 matchup. Norfolk State playing in their second game, led by Robert Jones. His lineup with Devontae Carter, Joe Bryant, Keontae Chavis, Keshawn Hicks, and J.J. Matthews. Familiar five for the Gonzaga Bulldogs with Suggs, Nembhard, transfer from Florida. You got Joel Ayayi, Corey Kispert, first team All-America selection, and Drew Timme at 6'10", the big man in the middle. Very tight rotation for Mark Few. And how about Robert Jones? He's been a big winner in the MEAC, 74% winning percentage. They beat App State in the first four in Bloomington on Thursday. So they have their feet wet. They were having some fun in the layup line before this game, throwing down dunks. They were laughing and dancing, and they are excited to match up against the top team in the country, Gonzaga. Michael Reed, Joe Lindsay, Clarence Armstrong are three officials. Andy O'Brien is the alternate, and away we go. Gonzaga controls.
Let's get it started. Norfolk State, this is what they've been waiting on. The defensive end is going to be very important, how they contain the ball, communicate early, can play one-on-one defense.
Timme comes up empty on his first try. Devontae Carter gets almost stuck in the backcourt. Joe Bryant, excellent player for Norfolk State, won the MVP of the MEAC tournament. Their best scorer, Jalen Hawkins, from the first four games, comes off the bench at 24 points. We'll see him quickly, I'm sure. Three-pointer does not fall for Devontae Carter. He's hoping for a bounce back after a rough first four matchup against App State. Kispert kicks it. Ayayi can't hit the three. Couple of empty sets for Gonzaga.
Three ball, very important for the Spartans. If they can knock him down early, a long two right there.
That's going to be a foul on this side of the floor. They're going to get Timme with the foul. Norfolk State will keep possession here. There's Mark Few, finalist for the Coach of the Year. Won that award once before. Says he's never had a team like this, and he's had some great teams. Yep. But this one is special. Norfolk State, the champions of the MEAC tournament. And a little mid-range won't fall for J.J. Matthews.
Rim's a little tight early on, and back to your comment about one of the best teams to see a hold inside. That time, J.J. Matthews, but he said about this team here, and he's had some great teams, some great individuals that went on, you know, to play in the NBA. Talking about that 2018-19 team with Rui, Brandon Clark, and Josh Perkins. But listen, he said this team has the best feel overall for the game collectively. That's high praise.
They got hit by COVID early in the year. Matter of fact, their season was shut down right here in Indianapolis. At this venue is Nembhard. Three-pointer rattles in and out. A couple of donuts still on the board, looking for someone to scratch some points here. Joe Bryant gives it up. This is Carter. Norfolk State really needs Carter to see one go through. Carter just 4 points on 1 of 10 shooting against App State. Despite the win for the Spartans, that was a big loss for them as Keshawn Hicks finally gets the scoring started here. A three ball is good for Hicks.
Well, and that, to me, a 37% three-point shooting team. Beautiful spin move that time by Suggs. But the strength of this Gonzaga defense is controlling the ball off the dribble, except for that time, and getting down the lane. That time, the Spartans able to attack early before the defense gets set. The three ball, again, very important early. Suggs just a little late, being able to get there and contest the shot.
Devontae Carter at the line. A couple of free throws for Carter. It's just been that kind of tournament so far. And Robert Jones is telling us he had to have a chat with Carter after that win Thursday, and you know, he was distraught. He was in tears. He was happy that Norfolk State advanced, but felt like he didn't contribute, didn't really show what he could do. And Robert Jones has turned those tears into tears of joy. We're moving on.
That's right.
And they need him tonight. They need everything they got and more against this Gonzaga team that has been down for a while, a couple of weeks now after winning the WCC championship. They beat BYU. Corey Kispert for 3, and the first one's down for Gonzaga.
Well, that's March 9th. So if you had time to sit and kind of think about what's going on, it's not like you're going to practice hard anyway. But so there is probably just a little cobwebs from the Zags.
Those first few minutes of an NCAA tournament game, always anxious minutes. That's a nice lead. Matthews goes strong, gets a friendly bounce. Good find by Hicks. And J.J. Matthews on the board. Gonzaga, great ball movement. They get a lot of touches per possession. Basically only play 7 players, though. They keep their guys out there. Kispert's got the quick release, the catch and shoot, and a couple of 3 balls down for Corey Kispert.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When you got 7 of their players, the way they play, you don't have to worry about a lot of it.
Right.
You don't have to go deep.
Kispert, the Conference Player of the Year, first team AP, All-America selection. Most important player in all facets. There's a 3-pointer in, and Kashawn Hicks has found the stroke early.
Well, that's excellent ball movement based off of penetration.
Turn it over. Timeout on the floor. Shout out to the HBCUs, Norfolk State, Jimmy. They're making some shots here early.
Well, they are. Kispert, splash, able to do it, but the Spartans not going anywhere. Hicks feeling good early.
And Jim, let's congratulate the Bobcat, Allie LaForce.
Matt, Allie LaForce is going to need a minute. Incredible upset.
I'm trying so hard to stay focused here.
No,
so
you're
much
not.
respect
No,
for
no.
Tony Bennett and Virginia, but go Bobcats!
No, you're not.
I was on campus the last time. They went to the Sweet 16 and upset Georgetown. And, you know, Jeff Bowles is an incredible coach. He spent 7 years as an assistant in Ohio State. And not to poke at Jim or anything, but since the Buckeyes couldn't make it, Ohio University had to hold it down for the state. Go Bobcats.
No doubt. Back in
Oh, wait. So the not to poke at, but then you poke at me.
That usually
That's
means
a double negative.
Pokes
You know what I mean?
I was back at Allie's bartending.
Exactly.
Bobcat.
Just for that, everything else is on you since they won.
That's going to be a travel as Joe Bryant turns it over. So 2 upsets today. Not a good tournament going for the ACC. Virginia, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Clemson, all eliminated. Duke didn't even make the tourney. Syracuse and Florida State are the lone survivors. It's crazy how this tournament is starting to shape up.
And who would have thought Syracuse, being the one that's still surviving, but in a tournament scenario, getting used to that 2-3 zone is never easy.
Cook finds Watson, and a couple of players coming off the bench, immediately making an impact. So picking this one up here. Suggs has 2 fouls for Gonzaga. Early Story.
And that changes the pace in which this team plays, but it doesn't change how they operate in their half-court set. You saw the excellent body and ball movement to get a layup on the backside. Another missed shot. That time by the Spartans.
Deonze Chavis comes up empty. Here's Watson, gives it up to Kispert. Kispert's hit 2 threes thus far. And a take to the basket. A lot of room in there to work. Well, a 16 beating a 1 obviously is one of the rarest things that could happen. We remember UMBC over Virginia 3 seasons ago. But if there is a recipe for this kind of upset, Jim, it is a team that plays great defense and makes the 3-pointer. And that's what Norfolk State does. Excellent defense in transition. That's going to stay in the possession of the Zags.
Well, right here, once you help off the baseline, now you're going to give up layups. You can't do that. Chris Ford has to stay solid. And then the poor closeout by Joe Bryant Jr. just opened up the floodgates for Ayayi to be able to get to the basket. Now, keep in mind, this Norfolk State team is going to play multiple defense, I do believe. Whether that's a 1-3-1 press, a 1-3-1 zone, press up, man-to-man, 2-3 zone. Just try to keep the Zags off balance, and right now, a zone underneath out of bounds almost forces a turnover.
Yeah, and active hands as well. This is going to be a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Norfolk State. And so they'll get possession back.
There you go. Just that switch right there. You try to force a pass inside. The active hands of the Spartans was able to tip the pass and create a turnover. Now we see the Bulldogs in a 1-2-2. It looks like a little press up right now themselves.
Got two extremely talented coaches that have done a lot of winning matching up in this game, and almost a pick. Look out. Good effort there by Anton Watson.
Yeah, just missed that camera right there too. Right out of bounds. I mean, this is a hustle right here. Pass is almost telegraphed. Not enough on it.
Look out.
Yep, there you go.
Got a piece.
Got a piece.
It's like your microphone in the open tonight.
I know, I just figued y'all cut me off. You don't want to hear any more.
That mic can only take so much hot air, Jimmy.
Hey, brother. Hey.
It's got to be replaced.
Come on, this is 2021.
Bryant.
Technology.
Down a three. That three-point shooting is on point early for Norfolk State. So a whiff for Bryant, 10-9. A couple of threes already down. That was Hicks who made the threes. Yai gives it up. Nebhard. Watson works the screen. Shot clock gets late. There's the hot hand so far. Missed three from Kispert, his first miss. Norfolk State getting some looks from behind the arc. Highest three-point percentage in the MEAC this year. They shot at 37% as a team. Almost a travel. Carter taking a peek. Three on the shot clock. Three-pointer. No. Offensive rebound and the putback for Hicks.
Yeah, that time, right place, right time. But that's the shot that the Bulldogs want you to take under duress. At that time, able to benefit. Speak about benefit. Great backdoor cut that time by Anton Watson. Again, the multiple ball movement, people movement, not standing still makes it extremely difficult to take a lot of these options away that are within the playbook of the Zags.
Bryant goes in and out. It goes halfway down. That's going to be Gonzaga ball. Good ball movement here by the Zags.
On Nimhart. Watson. You pay so much attention to the ball handler that you forget about your defensive principles to stay solid. Identify where your man is at, point to him, yell it out so you won't get back cut.
5 assists on the 5 made field goals for Gonzaga. He's going to his bench early with Watson and Cook. Timmy working with Kispert here, two-man game. Timmy, second team All-America. And another good look, and the flush by Anton Watson. 6 assists, 6 made field goals. Cook setting up Watson. Good production out of the bench for Gonzaga, Jimmy.
Well, working off the rust a little bit. Zags know how to share. Up 3.
Gonzaga by 3 over Norfolk State. Unbelievably delicious Coke Orange Vanilla. It tastes nothing like a basketball, but also has something orange and round. 11:39 remaining in this first half. Brian Anderson with Jim Jackson, the All-American, and Ali LaForce in our tournament summary. Oregon VCU game declared a no contest. So Oregon, one of the many Pac-12 teams to advance. We've had 5 advance in this tournament. And how about teams from Texas? 5-1 in this tournament. The Big 12 is 6-0 right now. Oklahoma advancing past Missouri, and the winner of this game will match up against Oklahoma on Monday.
Now, I thought during the year, Brian, that the Big 10 probably was the deepest, but that the Big 12 probably had the best opportunity to put more teams to have a chance to win a national title. And they're showing up right there.
Chris Ford battling down there, and Kispert able to keep the possession. The Gonzaga ball, and a foul on Norfolk State. And I believe that's going to take us to another timeout. It will. Media timeout. So a 3-point Gonzaga lead. The overall #1 undefeated Zags out of the West Coast Conference. Back after this.
Well, the unselfish teams are generally the most successful, especially when you combine it with talent. The passing early in this game has been phenomenal for the Bulldogs, and it's one person that's benefiting a lot of that. That's Antoine Watson, by understanding where the double teams are coming from and where the open areas to cut are at, exploiting them. And again, Jalen Suggs not in the game doesn't change how this offense continues still to operate.
Plug and play, Suggs in foul trouble. Offensive juggernaut. That is how you describe Mark Few's team, leading the nation in scoring offense for the 3rd straight season. Average over 92 points per game. And the best scoring margin in the country as well. There's Watson again, and he's out of the gates with a quick 8 points. Anton Watson coming off the bench.
Well, and part of the reason why, besides having very talented players, is that this Bulldog team, they don't hold the ball. They make quick decisions. If they don't have the shot, they don't have the pass, they move the ball, which moves the defense. And now you can play great defense, get out in transition to see if you can score.
Cook, oh, wild shot. Watson gets the rebound, second chance opportunity, 3-pointer, no. Into the hands of Hicks. 5-point Gonzaga lead. Bryant kicks it, Carter. Missed again, Carter now 0 for 3.
Yeah, a little flat on that, and maybe he's thinking too much on the jump shot, not just letting it go like Cook right there in the corner. You know, sometimes when you struggle with your shot, you put so much pressure on yourself that now there's tension when you go up to shoot it. It's not free. You know, maybe getting to the line, getting to the free throw line, making a couple shots will loosen it up. See right there, he hesitated.
Ford missing a mid-range over Timmy. All 8 baskets have been assisted for Gonzaga. It's a 9-0 Zags run. This time Cook passed it up. Good ball movement. Got a chance at another one here. Kispert hits a 3 and another assist. 9-9. This time a setup by Watson, and Kispert with his 3rd made 3 of the game. Well, that ballooned to an 11-point lead quickly. Norfolk State has Jalen Hawkins on the floor, has not been able to get loose. 24 in black. Went off in the first 4.
There you go.
That's what he needed right there. Carter, his first made basket.
And that was a rhythm jump shot. He kind of got to a spot 15 feet, pull up, didn't think about a splash.
Timmy fouled. This Ford fouls him.
Mr. Mustache.
Yeah. Oh, get that. Man. And then on the other end, I mean, you're seeing Gonzaga in all their glory here in the last few possessions. Kispert's such a good 3-point shooter.
Handlebars.
It looks like Pete Vukovic.
Oh, I told you. Who did I tell you he looked like? Bill Whittington.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Hey, you can watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. So Timmy at the line. And knocks them both down. Timmy, the numbers have jumped significantly, doubled up his scoring from a year ago. And one of the great big men in the country. Carter comes up short. Timmy just took it right out of the hands of Isaiah Chambers. Suggs back on the floor, throws it away.
Yeah, a little miscommunication. Cook Jr. was going backdoor Suggs. Again, that time kind of assumed that Cook Jr. was going to stay in place.
Suggs will be a top 5 pick most likely. A one-and-done player, not a player that Mark Few and the Zags really go after typically. Matter of fact, Suggs his camp did more of the recruiting to come to Gonzaga than the other way around. It's been a great fit. There's Hawkins, and he gets a friendly roll and one. Jalen Hawkins, this is the guy that lit up App State for 24 points off the bench on Thursday at the first four.
Well, the scouting report was that he's a shooter, right? So what happens? In your mind, you charge out on him, and now Hawkins is tricky enough with his handle to get downhill, get inside the lane, and get an old-fashioned three-point play.
20 of his 24 came in the first half of that first four game. Norfolk State almost gave away a huge lead, but ended up hanging on to beat App State down in Bloomington on Thursday. 8-point Gonzaga lead. Working the clock here. Cook. And good ball movement. Ayayi lets a man go by. Three-pointer on its way, and good. And Ayayi looks hurt. Ayayi. And he's saying, I don't know, he's pointing down to Mustafa Lawrence. And they may be taking a look at this one here. There's something that Ayayi.
Well, I think Lawrence might have popped him, poked him. Watch his hand right here, right there. That's an old school trick right there. Ooh. That's old school. We used to do that back in the day all the time to a shooter. Right there.
Yeah. That's probably going to get him popped right here.
Now the difference is the shooter could tell the official that back in the day, the official wouldn't care.
Right.
In today's game.
Then you get laughed at.
Oh, big time. In today's game, they're going to stop and check and look at it. It'll be interesting to see what they, because it's obvious what he did, what they call on this.
Now this is a potential flagrant foul here, F1 territory. Again, different kind of game nowadays, and you're right, you've seen that all the time back in the day, but different game now. And Ayayi was smart. He doubled over, pointed to the official immediately, got the whistle. No better guy to walk us through this one than Gene Steratore. What are you seeing here, Gene?
You know, B.A., I know J.J. and I are a little older, and we probably pulled that many times in the day. But as you just alluded to, in the days of replay and looking at things, and then knowing that by definition, unnecessary, unwarranted, does that fall in those categories? I think you may have to say yes on that. Now, the level of severity is not a part of this. It is unnecessary and unwarranted, and again, a judgment by the officials. But if they do upgrade this to a flagrant one, I would not be surprised.
So,
all right, so no flagrant fouls, the official ruling here. Okay.
So you can still do it.
I guess so.
Hint, hint.
That makes me feel good, Jimmy.
Right? It's like we may be archaic. Hey, Gene, we may be archaic, but that rule still apply that you can still poke the shooter.
I heard about poking the bear. We don't poke Gene ever. But apparently it's okay now. So count the basket. No flagrant. Three-pointer up from Tyrese Jenkins. Gets his first shot up in his first minutes.
No 2-3 zone once again, but the ball is being able to be entered in those gaps a little too easily right there.
Suggs for three. Timmy, rebound. Putback is good.
And that's one of the challenges in the zone too, especially when you have a taller player like Timmy, is that when the ball rotates, you rotate the back line. You can't get a body in front of the offensive player.
Lawrence misses a three. Ayayi wanted to push it here. Suggs will oblige, and he is fouled hard by Tyrese Jenkins. Free throws here for Jalen Suggs.
And gets inside. That's called not allowing them to get a layup. That's about the only way you're going to stop this Gonzaga team from putting the ball in the basket.
All right, well, during that timeout, officials went to the monitor. They were checking to see if this elevated to the level of a flagrant one from Tyrese Jenkins, and they say it does, Jim, pulling down on Jalen Suggs.
Well, right here, see on the inside arm, that's where the unnecessary contact is made, and that's why the officials determine that as a flagrant one.
So you had the poke on the shooter of Ayayi. with Lawrence, not ruled as a flagrant. This one is. Suggs will take the tee. And that was a shooting foul as well. So he'll have a couple more. Suggs knocks down the technical foul shots. I beg your pardon, be baseline out of bounds here. No free throws coming. 31-16. And we play on.
Fall right into the 2-3 zone. Just watch the Bulldogs try to pass it around, but look right in the middle of the court, right there at the free throw line, collapse the defense in one-on-one. See if you can get a shot.
Ayayi kicks it. Suggs. Shot clock down to 10. Here's Suggs. Long three on its way. Short. Rebound run down by Devontae Carter, the senior. Out to the wing.
And that was excellent transition defense, too, by the Bulldogs to get back. You can tell they work a tremendous amount of time that when the shot goes up, opposite sides get back to take away any opportunity in transition from their opponents.
Chambers misses the mid-range. Right back at it comes Gonzaga. Kispert, no room. Nice pass. Wide open Timmy. Suggs set him up beautifully.
Stop it. That's not right. But the quick push and Timmy sprinting down the court. You got to reward him for that, and bullet pass inside from Suggs.
All that action creating so much confusion as Carter hits a mid-range. Now he's starting to feel it a little bit. Got the better body language going.
Well, he brought it in a little bit. You know, now 15 feet, feeling good about himself. But here's the end where you got to get some stops right here, consecutive stops.
Isaiah Chambers trying to check Timmy, falls to the ground. Wide open is Ayayi. All but one field goal made for Gonzaga has been assisted. They're up to 12 assists now. 5.5 to go in this first half. The overall #1 seed, Gonzaga, coming into this one with a record of 26-0. They ran through their conference 15-0. Beat BYU in the WCC title game.
Tough shot.
He made a bunch of those on Thursday night. Nembhard, little sidestep, a Euro step, got him free, scores it with a left hand. And Robert Jones wants to talk it over. Moving the ball, sharing the ball. Beautiful brand of basketball the Zags play. Another assist on the board as Suggs sets up Timmy. 19-point lead for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And hitting their shots, setting each other up well. Got in some foul trouble with Jalen Suggs, but excellent contributions from their bench. Anton Watson and Aaron Cook. Kispert's got 9. Corey Kispert knocking down 3 threes thus far. Spartans ball, approaching the 5-minute mark of this first half. And there's 1-16 matchup. We're in the West. And the overall #1 seed, Gonzaga. Winner here matches up against Oklahoma. Oklahoma took down Mizzou. Shot clock gets late here, down to 3. And Hawkins can't get one on the rim. Shot clock violation. Gonzaga with a stand.
Yeah, and that switching defense, they wanted some elbow action that time, the Spartans did, but because Anton Watson was able to switch out, it took that pass from left to right away, kind of confused the Spartans, hence deep into the shot clock, had to throw something up to no avail.
Gonzaga, they've won 30 straight games, 26-0 this year. Got to go back into last season. Of course, there was no NCAA tournament. Their last loss February of last season against BYU, 30 in a row. They're trying to make a little history this year. If they win it all, be the first since Bobby Knight's Indiana Hoosier team, 1976, to run the table. Kispert got the sweet stroke, quick release, his 4th made 3 of the game. He's got 12.
Easy offense when you play unselfish, make the right plays, but when you have multiple options on the court, defenses can't take everything away.
Joe Bryant will pull a 3, and that one's true. Quiets down a big Gonzaga run. They've had runs of 12-0. They just went on a 15-2 run. And it's going to be a turnover. Ayayi throws it away. Final game of the night here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Gonzaga, the top seed, trying to move on. 40-21, Gonzaga by 19. Don't forget, complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. All in San Antonio. Now we talk about best winning percentage in the conference, and you got these two coaches on that list. Mark Few, overall best winning percentage. Robert Jones, in his 8th year, 74% clip. He's done a great job at Norfolk State.
Yep, talked about the influence that Tim Clues had on him in regards to his coaching style and understanding what it takes to be successful. An outstanding job with these young men in life and basketball. Great play coming out the timeout.
Well, J.J. Matthews taking on Timmy.
Yep. Able to get deep position that time, made a quick move. No jump hook over left shoulder.
Inside, Timmy, a spin, runs into a double team, triple team. Here's Nembhard. And Ayayi. No jump hook, no. Oh, and it's poked away by Watson. Boys, he had a terrific game. Anton Watson finds Nembhard. What a pass. Set him up right in the pocket. Can't score it. Back the other way come the Spartans. Norfolk State led by Hicks. 8 points and a couple of threes early. Did Kashawn Hicks. And Matthews goes again. Here's Carter. Shot clock down to 3. Puts him in desperation mode here. Contested 3 and another shot clock violation. I think Carter was wanting J.J. Matthews to take the shot right there. Hot potato.
Matthews picked up the dribble, 4 seconds, gave it to Carter at 3 seconds. It's almost like, okay, bro, what you want me to do with this? I got nothing for you right now.
Drew Timmy on, and he's having to guard Timmy.
Uh-oh.
And Kispert sets his feet, knocks down another one. Corey Kispert with 5 made threes. One of the great three-point shooters in the country. 44% three-point shooting percentage this year. Oh, nice hands. Nembhard's going to be called for a foul. Sounded like a lot of ball right there, but Andrew Nembhard gets called for the hack. Going to put Joe Bryant at the line here. 2 free throws for Bryant. Bryant, the MEAC tournament MVP. And unable to knock the first one down. Hey, Bleacher Report, the app is home to all the action from around the tournament. Find your community by following your teams. Fan easier, fan faster, fan better. Download the Bleacher Report app today. Season numbers for Joe Bryant Jr. Out of Norfolk, Virginia, right there in his hometown, Lake Taylor High School. And misses them both.
Left 2 right there on the table. Again, the switching defense, it was like a 2-2-1 press. Now fall back into a man-to-man.
Nembhard, 6th man of the year in the West Coast Conference. Moved into that starting lineup, and there's a turnover. Watson couldn't handle it. Low pass, dug out of there well by Hicks. And Chavis running into his own man, and that's a right call. That'll be Gonzaga ball.
Yeah, I mean, that time, Chavis really didn't have anywhere to go. He was determined that he wanted to get the shot, but that time he just ran up the back of J.J. Matthews. Better off pulling it out to the corner and resetting. Another lost opportunity, that time by the Spartans, after a really good defensive play on the opposite end.
Timmy all the way across court. Nembhard for three. No. Rebound pulled down by Jalen Hawkins. Hawkins got his mind made up. Hawkins will put one up. He'll go to the line. Timmy can't believe the call. I think they're going to. Yep, that will be on Drew Timmy. And that is going to send Hawkins to the line. A little hobbled after that collision with the big man.
Number 24, Jalen Hawkins on the strike. Will shoot a pair.
Hawkins was leading the parade in the layup line before the game. He was having a great time. Misses the first. Free throws missed. Coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll get you caught up on all the latest tournament news, plus scores and highlights of the other games. It's all coming up. AT&T at the half. Oh, yeah. Norfolk State now 2 of 7 from the free throw line.
This is a team that shoots right about 71% for the season.
A little over a second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Suggs has 2 points, has not made a field goal just yet. He's missed a couple of threes. Got in some early foul trouble. And Suggs lost the handle. Chavis with a steal gives it right back. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. Got real sloppy for Norfolk State. Well, the big three leading the way. Big effort from Corey Kispert. 15 points, 5 made threes. Timmy, presence inside. Excellent work off the bench by Anton Watson as well. And the overall #1 seed, they got it on cruise control in this first half. Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs took them about 8 minutes to settle into this game, and now they're looking every bit of the #1 seed. 20-point lead as we get ready for the second half. Brian Anderson along with Jim Jackson, and again, a lot of ways you could go with Gonzaga, but the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, first-team All-America Corey Kispert, our Capital One rewarding performance.
Yeah, both handling their business. And listen, Corey Kispert, like 7-Eleven. Leave him open, he'll make you pay. And that's what he's doing in the first half. 5 for 7 from behind the three-point line. Actually, it's kind of easy because of the excellent ball movement. The unselfishness of this Bulldogs team just makes it look easy. Plus, he got a good head of lettuce up there, too.
Yes, he does. Speaking of head of lettuce, Allie LaForce, what'd you get from the Norfolk
That was a
State
natural
sideline?
transition.
You
You're
like
so
that?
good, BA. You're so good.
The Moss.
Listen, the message from Coach Jones was a serious one. It was every ounce of energy and motivation he had left in him. He said, you guys had 0 effort, 0 emotion. You played selfishly. He told them to play their game. He said, you're taking shots that you don't normally take. Play with no pressure. Pretend like the pressure's all on them, and you have to play better defensively. I mean, most of Kispert's threes were uncontested, and that's just unacceptable at this level.
All right, Allie, thank you. We'll see if Norfolk State has an answer. They are an excellent defensive team. They can make some threes. Well, right now, Gonzaga's got their thumb on them. Kispert having this big night in front of his parents. Saw his mom, Derry, his father, Craig. And got a whistle underneath. First possession of this second half. Going to get J.J. Matthews. There are the Kispert's grandparents here as well, Dee and Gary. And boy, they have seen Corey have not just a great year, but a phenomenal career. He's another guy that's headed for the lottery. Lucky lollipops.
Just over the years, just player development is so important. You know, Mark Few, see a foul, I think, inside when you got inside. You didn't get a chance to do it over, or was it a lane violation? Lane violation. But the player development aspect of what they've been able to do here with their seniors, development over the years, and the fans of the Bulldogs can see the improvement. You talked about Timmy in the first half as far as how far his offensive game has come along. And it's a credit to not only Mark Few, but the entire coaching staff.
Nice kick to the wing. Good ball movement here. And a three-pointer on its way from Joe Bryant. Back iron. Suggs runs it down and loses the handle. Suggs just had a bit of an uneven game here, Jimmy. His first NCAA tournament game. Suggs kind of the, one of the key finishing pieces as he arrives his freshman year out of West St. Paul. And then I think maybe more than anything else, Andrew Nimhard becoming eligible this year, transferring from Florida and available to play. The Canadian Nimhard has taken this team from what was already a very good team, potentially great team, to an historic team.
Yeah, and Suggs' part too, with all the national attention, especially coming out of high school as one of the top high school players and then projected to be, again, top 5 pick. The level of maturity that he shows when the game is not going his way, I think, is very important, because he's not out here hunting for shots trying to prove what the scouts are saying. You see a rare miss that time by Corey Kispert. So that shows a level of maturity beyond his years, and saying that it's not about myself, especially on a big stage like this in the tournament where you can not only make your name but make your fame. He's refrained from doing that and maintaining the true definition of playing team basketball.
Oh, nice spring free. J.J. Matthews gets loose from Timmy and a two-handed jam. There's a highlight for Matthews. Kispert on the take, little floater off the glass, gets his own. The putback is good and one. Kispert with a belly flop.
Well, let's give J.J. Matthews a little love right here. Felt Timmy, baseline open spin. And then as Kispert once, nope, twice, get it, get the foul, airplane, slide. And that's even without the water.
Working up a good lather here.
Yeah.
Free throw to try to cap off a three-point trip. He does. Well, Ali, speaking of Jalen Suggs, I think he's the unquestioned #1 point guard in the country right now. He's really made an impact for Gonzaga and around this college basketball landscape as Matthews gets another two-handed jam.
If we talk about Kispert, it's a natural dunk for Norfolk State, or Jalen Suggs, that is. I think that's 2 back-to-back times that you guys have talked about Suggs, and it's led to a dunk. But Coach Few has just the best words to say about Suggs. He said he went right to the veterans, and he soaked up anything he could give him. He said he's been a wonderful addition because not only did he bring his talent, but he has winning qualities. He said the bigger the moment, the better he is, and there's no better compliment you can get than that.
I give you an example off of that unselfish play back a few years back at Villanova when Jalen Brunson, #1 point guard in high school, chose to go to Villanova. Okay, could have went anywhere and started. Brian Archidiakono was the starting point guard, but Jalen wanted to learn. You see the numbers come up in the Wooden award list. That shows, again, the level of headiness to say, listen, it's not about me. I want to learn how to play this position correctly. So when it's my time, I'm prepared. Guess what? 2 national championships.
Yeah, and sought out Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And those Villanova days with Brunson, those such great teams, so many players right now on the next level, and they've got that great connection. They changed the culture of that program. And under Jay Wright,
very familiar in regards to how they operate with Gonzaga and also Villanova in developing, their core players and recruiting a certain type of player.
Suggs gets into the action here on the screen from Timmy. And Suggs just explodes to the basket, cannot get the layup. Davis. And Bryant now on the take. Ooh, Bryant taking on Kispert. Kispert jumps straight up. Good defense there. Yayi finds Nimhard. Corner 3 on its way. No. Timmy, the follow, no. And that's going to be a foul on Gonzaga. And they're going to get Jalen Suggs. And that means Mark Few will call on his bench. Anton Watson coming in. Suggs will sit. He won't be pleased with his first game in the NCAA tournament.
No.
Suggs will sit with just 2 points, his 3rd foul. Anton Watson in. He had a terrific first half. Watson scored 8 points, made all 4 of his baskets, had 5 rebounds as well. Carter can't get the bounce. There's Watson with another rebound. And Watson, another find, big-to-big passing. As Timmy sets him up this time. Again, the assist numbers are So impressive. 15 helpers for Gonzaga on 18 made baskets. That's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Gonzaga. Watson left alone, he'll take it. Yep. That's easy as it gets.
Well, you think about this too, Watson, who against BYU, was 1 for 2 at 3 points. But being able to play a role like this in this first game all gives his coaching staff but his team a little bit more confidence too in the substitution and rotation. Doing it on the offensive and defensive end could pay huge dividends down the road for Gonzaga.
Here's a Yayi for 3. At the back iron, and that's going to be a foul on Kalogerius. Stradios Kalogerius getting run here in the NCAA tournament. Played just 15 games this year. Norfolk State, they got their hands full, but they got a tournament win at the first 4, running into a buzzsaw in the Zags. 52-27. Oh, you know what's unbelievably delicious, Jimmy?
Yeah, Coke, orange, vanilla. Like I said that.
Tastes nothing like a basketball, but also has something orange and round. Gonzaga rolling here. There's Robert Jones. No stranger to upsets. Beat top seed Alabama in the first round of the NIT 2 years ago. That was an overtime win. And Jones was an assistant when Norfolk State took down Missouri as a 15 seed. That's already been 9 years.
Right.
He took over the program after that as the head coach. Now in his 8th year, done a great job. In the MEAC, here's Kispert for 3. Man, that shot is as pure as it gets.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting talking to Coach Jones. We always talk about players have to make or had to make an adjustment to COVID, but coaches did too. I mean, in particular in his case, especially with the events that had happened taking place last year with Black Lives Matter. See a jump shot right there. But Coach Jones said, I had to change my perspective and my outlook to my players because it was all about what I wanted, but I had to soften up a little bit and listen to what the players needed at the time with everything they were going through with COVID, Black Lives Matter, and things in the social events that were going on. So coaches too have to adjust in times like that we're going through.
Well, he spoke about that, and he says, I'm a my way or the highway guy, but I think that's a familiar theme with a lot of coaches this year. These players have been through so much, and while they enjoy their time on the floor, you got to remember they've been mostly isolated. As Ayayi gets his own and a putback there. They've been isolated. They've just been together.
Yep.
A lot of them haven't seen their families.
And it's a mental adjustment. You talk about, you know, the mental health issues more prevalent now in regards to people being out front about it than, you know, these young men and the young women who are participating in college sports that are not able to see their families and kind of live the college life. It is mentally tough on a lot of them.
There's Timmy, and gets it back and scores it. And Gonzaga just making it look easy right now. It's going to be interesting to see if Mark Few, if he goes to the bench or lets his guys get a run here. They haven't played in a while.
The bucket there, BA, Jim, and Allie.
Was there a kick out there, Matt, on that Reggie Miller bucket? Now that we're here, come on. That was a low blow. Speaking of Reggie Miller, the other one. How about UCLA? They're leading at the half. They're up 11 over BYU. Johnny Juzang with 19 points in the first half, and it's good to see him back. We had their game in the first 4. Had a bad wheel, weren't sure what he was going to come back and be like.
No, well, evidently that ankle is no bother. And again, I love the adjustment that Mick Cronin has made in regards to isolating Juzang, the opportunity for him to go to work one-on-one.
Chavis gets his own, now trying to get out of traffic. Matthews had it swatted away. Nice defense there by Suggs. Up ahead, Kispert running the floor. Kispert with the left-handed lay-in. Now we talked on our way to the commercial break. You know, we're looking at Gonzaga's bench, their rotation. There's Cash from Jalen Hawkins. That's what he did on Thursday night. And wide open. And easy buckets here for Gonzaga. But, you know, you talk about rotations, and they only go 7 deep. And if you're Mark Few, you got to make a decision here. How much you play these guys. Do you go to your bench? Do you give some guys who have been there for you, working hard for you all year on the practice squad and on the scout team, and give them some minutes? But it's always an interesting decision, especially in the first game of an NCAA tournament.
Well, you want to develop the continuity back like this right here. Now, the last game was the 9th. What's today? What's the date? 19th? It's 20th? Okay, so you had 11 days. So not playing. So if you see the starters still in the game, it's not one of those things where Mark Few is trying to run up the score. What he's trying to do is get his guys really good playing time, in-game playing time. You know, to get in the rhythm and be ready for their next opponent, and at the right moment, see Suggs right there. And he may need that right there to see the ball go in, because he's had a tough game shooting the basketball. So that's the difference right now with the team that hasn't played in the last 11 days, and why, even though the score is up here at 35, they're still out on the court.
Well, playing hard still. There's a steal by Cook. Yayi had it knocked out of his hands. Boy, a lot of contact down there. No whistles. Just letting him play. By the way, that layup by Suggs, his first made field goal. That'd be one guy you're trying to get going. Another steal. Yayi this time pokes it away. Going up top. Off the glass. Suggs throws it down. All by design. Yayi to Suggs.
And that's taking care of your boy, who's been struggling the whole night in his first tournament game. Ayayi could have easily taken that himself, but he knows that down the road how important Jalen Suggs is to this team, so take care of him.
J.J. Matthews, a flurry of moves. Ayayi there with the rebound. It's a 19-3 run. Gonzaga just looking every bit of the #1 seed. Good ball movement. Ayayi springs free. Man, he moves as well without the ball as any player in the country. When you're on this particular team with so much firepower, Ayayi can come up with some big games. Timeout on the floor. The highlight of the night in transition, the Zags. Ayayi sets up his point guard for a two-handed jam. Pretty. All Gonzaga here in round 1 on this Saturday night in downtown Indy. Zags by 39. 10:43 left. You can watch live games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Get them all in play. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness. Download the app today. That's the game summary. It has been all Gonzaga. Norfolk State actually led 11-10. 7.5 minutes into this one, but the Zags threw it into 5th gear, and they're having some fun tonight, getting their legs under them. Kispert has been outstanding shooting the basketball. He's got 6 made threes, 23 points tonight for Corey Kispert, WCC Player of the Year. It'll be Norfolk State ball. Tournament champions out of the MEAC, Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. And a first 4 win over App State to earn this date against the Zags. Hawkins gets stuck. Ayayi all over him.
And it's still defense, the pressure is still there. Again, this Bulldogs team is playing for something bigger than just this game. It's a national championship, so all year you develop these championship habits. You're not just going to let it go when you're up, 39 right now. You're still going to see that tenacity on defense, communication. More importantly, on offense, the ball will still be shared amongst the team.
Hawkins, nice finish for Norfolk State. See Julian Strother on the floor for Gonzaga. Very talented freshman out of Las Vegas. Has a couple of double-digit games, big scoring games in the WCC. Mark Few certainly wants to give him some run here. And Strother will pick up that foul. Everything calculated from now till the end, halfway through this second half, and all of it has a reason. Mark Few has those he wants to see that could benefit him in this NCAA tournament.
Yep, you never know. Like foul trouble could come into play in one of these games where now you're going to have to sub, and you want to be sure that the person that comes in, you talked about Mark Few really playing 7 players, but sometimes in the tournament it may get deeper. So now is the time against full team live action that you can put a player out there to see where they're at mentally and physically.
Oh, what a night Anton Watson is having. He's hit his first 3. He has not missed tonight. 7 for 7, 15 points for Anton Watson. He's also been strong on the glass. He's got 6 rebounds, 2 of those offensive rebounds. Matthews up and over Watson. No. Suggs coming out of the pack. Gonzaga, the 5th team in the last 45 years to enter the NCAA tournament undefeated.
I think if there's a year where that record can be broken, it feels like this one for the Zags. Not that the road is easy, because it's not. And I know all year they played with pressure, on the road. They've beaten some great teams, Kansas, Iowa, West Virginia, you know what I mean? But the tournament is different, because during the season, Brian, if you go into it and you lose a game, you can play tomorrow.
Hey, a quick reminder here. And a question: who envisioned greatness today? You can tune into Inside March Madness presented by Buick to find out. Gonzaga, they played a 2, 3, and 4 seed at some point this season. 2, 3, and 4 seeds in the West Regional this season. They beat all 3 of them. They beat Iowa, they beat Kansas, they beat Virginia, and I think that Iowa win was the one that really got Mark Few's attention, because they hadn't practiced. They had all the COVID issues, which all happened right here in Indianapolis. Had to shut down their team and all of their facilities for about a week, little over a week, and they had really no practice. And now you're going up against Iowa, very good team, and they beat them and put 90 plus on the board against the Iowa Hawkeyes. And we asked Mark Few, you had a good team. When did you think you had a great team? He goes, after that game, because I thought we were going to get run out of the gym with no practice, and they came out and played as they did. And it really showed me, Few said, that this team is well connected, smart, enjoy playing with each other, and know how to play with each other.
Well, and I said West Virginia, Mid-Virginia, but the beauty about those 4 wins, Brian, that all 4 of those teams are different. They pose different challenges for Gonzaga. With Iowa, you got Luka Garza, probably the best player, will get Naismith, will win National Player of the Year with shooters around it. Virginia, the tempo in which they play now, you're forced to try to speed that up. Kansas, is a little bit different. So it gave them different looks. And the beauty of that, and Tom Izzo used to say this, and you see it off the backboard, the beauty about playing these top teams early in the season that are different than the teams you play in conference are the ones that you'll face in the tournament. Different styles that you have to adjust to.
Got a foul here, timeout on the floor. The Zags, these are faces you'll get familiar with, if not already. Some of the best players and the best team in the country to open up the big dance, and they are rolling tonight. Second round tomorrow, noon Eastern. It starts on CBS. Loyola Chicago and Illinois. 5 Eastern. TNT has the NCAA Nissan tip-off show. 8 games across CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV over 12 hours. What's got your eye there, Jimmy? Tomorrow.
Right there. And the reason why is because of both the Loyola Chicago within the city of Chicago, Illinois. Coach Moser has a connection with players there. Some players didn't get recruited, of course, by Illinois. You carry a grudge, you know what I mean, want to play. That, to me, is very interesting, because this team has experience by going to the Final Four. Players that have been there to play against a high-powered, Illinois team that doesn't have that same type of experience. So, very interested to see how that game plays out.
Loyola Chicago coming out of the Missouri Valley Conference now, champions of that conference, and the Sister Jean factor is real at 101. And she is right there with him every step of the way. Three-pointer is down for Julian Strother. Got his first points of his career in the NCAA tournament. And no shot. Foul on the floor. Hey, watch Masters live on Paramount Plus. Coverage of featured groups, Amen Corner, and holes 15 and 16. Go to ParamountPlus.com to try it free on this first day of spring. I can't wait for that. The Masters just around the corner.
Jalen Suggs out the game, not his best performance, and I guarantee you he'll be getting a call or text from one of his very best friends, almost family, like-minded superstar, female player, Paige Beckers. They're at UConn. They're like family, grew up.
Another three for Strother.
They call each other to support each other. Matter of fact, she called him after the Pepperdine game when he only had 4 points and kind of talked to him and vice versa. He would do that with her as well. She didn't have a really good game against Tennessee. But can you imagine coming from right around the same area in Minnesota? Those two outstanding young players show you the talent that's there.
Well, they're all excited on that bench as Umar Ballo able to score.
A big guy, man.
By the way, you can just go with Paige buckets from now on, because that's what she is.
All day long. And Paige has swag, too. When I tell you she got swag, we were covering her in studio one time, and she just was going off. I was like, you know what? Yeah, we can hang out. She is cool.
Looked like Jimmy Jackson back in the day.
Yeah.
I call him Jimmy two times for a reason. Two-time All-America, two-time Big Ten Player of the Year, and that 2-2 is hanging in the rafters.
Yeah, they had
a
space up there they had to fill in, so they just put my jersey up there.
It's a pleasure to be with you in this great
pleasure
tournament.
to be back, brother.
Man, so good to see basketball.
Yeah, be a part of it, be in the arena. I know it's not a lot of fans, but still being able to have the atmosphere. This is not an easy thing to pull together.
Nembhard knocks down the free throw, gives us a chance to remind you that BR Kicks is the home to all things sneakers and fashion, from Kicks Cam to Fit Watch to unboxings and more. BR Kicks has you covered. BR Kicks, we are all sneakerheads. Follow BR Kicks as Nembhard will take a seat. Impact player transferring from Florida. Nembhard is out. And Mark Few is going to get some run here for Ben Gregg. You got Ballo on the floor. Ben Gregg getting some time. Strother's already hit a couple of threes. And a hard foul. Might as well get yourself in the scorebook. Ben Gregg, 6'10" freshman from Oregon. This is a guy that graduated high school early and joined the Zags program in November. And here he is in the NCAA tournament. He bypassed his prom to get to the real dance, the big dance.
It's called a business decision, man.
Now, unbeaten teams entering the NCAA tournament since that 76-77 Indiana Hoosier team. Gonzaga is the 5th. Indiana State, of course, Larry Bird and company went to the championship game. That was that famous championship game with Michigan State, Magic and Larry. UNLV, that was a shocker. Right here in Indy, they lost in the semis to Duke. Always gets Grant Hill perked up. Chavis finds a man in the corner, three-pointer, no. So Indiana State, UNLV, Wichita State, that was Fred Van Vliet and company, and then Kentucky. Remember, Wisconsin beat Kentucky with a Jackson playing for the Wisconsin Badgers.
Sound familiar.
The son of. And Allie chasing history here in the state of Indiana with that Hoosier team still the ones who pulled it off in 76 and 77.
It feels so big to say out loud, but I think Coach Few genuinely meant it when he said his players are relatively unaware of this. He said he normally hates cell phones. They're the bane of his existence. But because the players are on their phone, on social media, they're in their own little bubbles, he said, and it's easy for them to ignore the conversation about making history and being the first team since the Hoosiers 45 years later to complete a full undefeated season. I talked to Anton Watson. He said, I haven't looked that much into it. After the season, I'll reflect then. I don't think anyone on our team has paid much attention to it. After our season, Coach acknowledged it, and he told us we should be proud of it. We took it in. But now the main goal for everyone is to win the championship. We know the season's a waste if we can't do that.
So interesting. He never brought it up, did Mark Few, until after the WCC tournament championship game. After they beat BYU, he said, I felt like I needed to address it, and basically got a reaction that was something like, huh. Next.
But you know, I'm not surprised because a lot of these young men who play the game today don't go deep into history past, 5-10 years maybe, of players they grew up watching. See a nice little shot right there by Chavez. But you know what I mean? So I'm really not surprised.
Chavis, a little step back.
Chavis maybe
got a chance at a 4-point play. And again, we are at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. We are in Indianapolis. A lot of Reggie Miller to it right there. Nice Reg.
Chavis, he knows his history. He went and saw Reggie kick that leg out.
Still having an impact, Reggie. Dominic Harris, freshman shooting guard. He's had a few double-figure games himself. Looking for Ballo. That was a little too short. Ballo was ready to do some damage. That's going to be a hoop and a harm. Devontae Carter, NSU's top scorer. He'll have a chance for a 3-point play. There he is, the Hall of Famer Reggie Miller. His name's everywhere. His likeness is everywhere.
Wendy's commercial.
Got a newborn in the house, wishing Reggie and his family the best. We're missing him this year, but always great to be in Indianapolis, and Reggie's beloved here.
Too many days chasing him off the screen. When you had the Davis brothers and Rick Smith setting picks, and that's when it was real physical. When they could really put an elbow right in the middle of your chest.
Looking for Chavis again. Little sidestep three on the way. All right. Chavis has found it here in this second half. That's got him riled up. The Norfolk State faithful allowed about 2,500 in the arena here tonight. And they've been loud. They've got a 10-0 run right here by the Spartans. Oh, it just got snapped. Another three, Julian Straw there. Boy, he shot well. That's got to be great for his confidence.
They get a nice looking stroke as well.
Oh, man, a block by Ballo. Oh, the big man, the 7-footer out of Mali. And an air ball on the other end. All right, might as well get your shots up. Got 3 minutes to go. First round of the NCAA tournament.
Well, and I know for Coach Robert Jones and his players, the final score is not what they wanted to see. Even if they lost the game, they wanted to be more competitive, of course. But Harris knocks it down. But when they look back at the experience later on, being here in this environment at the time against #1 team in the country, they'll be disappointed in the outcome. But I'm sure as a team they'll cherish the moment even more as you reflect back on it later in your life.
Well, they had a strong finish in their first 4 games. They almost blew a 19-point lead against App State, but they finished strong. That's another 3-pointer down. As Aaron Cook, the senior, the grad transfer from Southern Illinois, he's a man taking the lesser role, and good for him to get into it here. That's a foul. So Dominic Harris with the foul. That gives us a whistle with 2:06 remaining.
Want to stay up to date? Just tell Siri, show me the college basketball schedule.
Well, a team that's looking to make a little history is having a historic night here tonight. 97-49. And Norfolk State, they have so many seniors, Jimmy. Guys like Devontae Carter and Kashawn Hicks, Mustafa Lawrence, J.J. Matthews, Keontae Chavis. Now, again, because of the pandemic, players can choose to come back if they want to continue with their education. They can take a waiver year. Not a lot of decisions have been made with the Norfolk State team, but this could be the end of the line for a number of these players. You have so many players that have bounced from different universities, been through the junior college level, and you know what they have that can never be taken away is an NCAA tournament victory.
Yep.
And that came in the first four on Thursday. So proud season for Norfolk State, representing the HBCUs. Texas Southern also won a first four game. Final 2 minutes. Gonzaga has set a tournament record, NCAA tournament record for most points in a game. It was 95. That came in a loss in a double overtime loss against Arizona in 2003. They've got 97 currently. A school record for Gonzaga. Largest margin of victory in the NCAA tournament, 69.
Wow.
Wow, Loyola Chicago over Tennessee Tech. They're not quite there for this team, but they've got plenty on the board.
That's buckets right there.
46.
111. That's buckets.
46-point lead currently. Their widest margin of victory, 38 in the NCAA tournament. And that's going to be a foul on a three-point attempt. So Daryl Anderson will have 3 free throws. Great job by our crew tonight, led in the trucks by Tom Heights, Andrew Greathouse, all of our excellent crew here in Indianapolis. Tom Barbary and Joe Castellano on the stats and research, burning it up here in this final game of the night.
Got our consigliere next to us taking care of everything. Castellano.
One thing we found out tonight, we're never letting Allie LaForce order the pregame meal again. She was so locked into the Ohio game that she couldn't do it.
She couldn't do it. The simple order. She said she has the wings. I said, are they lemon pepper? And she just kind of went off like, yeah, like you don't know. And then we get the actual wings. And they're about big as my pinky. You know what I mean? And they're not lemon pepper.
You know, they just now opened my mic. Right? I would have been interpreting that whole time.
Close the mic back,
We're in the
Close it back.
Ish, so I thought wings were a good call. I apologize. Jim Jackson, you're in charge for me.
No. The thought, you know, like your parents tell you, the thought was good. The execution was terrible. That's what it was.
Your food order better perform better than your Buckeyes. That's all I'm saying.
Shade.
Oh,
shade.
I will give Ohio State a shout out because Ohio University coaches that were once Ohio State assistants are 3-0.
Okay, thank you.
In the NCAA tournament.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We got free throws coming here for Martinez Arlauskas, getting his NCAA tournament experience. 6'7" sophomore from Lithuania. Arlauskas with the free throw, and more into the game here as Pavel Zakharov enters for Paulo. Saying, put it up.
Put it up.
Take your shot right here.
It's okay to be a little selfish at this point right here. It is. You get a pass to go ahead and put up shots.
Andre Bottom's getting some playing time here for Norfolk State. Good to see this. These guys work so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, a little shake and bake to the basket by Mustafa Lawrence. Dominic Harris. Got Matthew Lang. Got to empty the bench. And Gonzaga puts 98 points on the board. A team that scored 116 earlier this year. Top scoring team in the nation. And they keep it going here in round one. 98-55, the final score. Corey Kispert led the way with 23 points. Watson with 17 off the bench. And while Gonzaga will move on to play Oklahoma, careers coming to an end for a number of the Norfolk State players. So that's the matchup on Monday. Gonzaga and Oklahoma. Gonzaga has now won at least one game in 12 straight tournaments, and they've won 31 consecutive, going back to last season in February. What a ride it's been. We're coming back. We got interviews coming your way. Allie LaForce getting ready for that. Come on back with us and enjoy. Now Gonzaga with their largest margin of victory in an NCAA tournament game. They put 98 on the board. There is Team Kispert, and they saw their son have a big night here in round one. 23 points. Let's send it down to Allie LaForce.
Corey, wow, congratulations on the win in such dominant fashion. Let's start with the fact that you guys haven't played a game in 11 days. What was it like just to get back out there on the court and get a feel for the team again?
Yeah, Ali, it took a few minutes for us to get our legs underneath us. But once we did, it was just it was go, go, go. We hit the ground running, and it felt really good to get back out there and show the world and show the country what we got.
I know you guys normally play 7 deep, but isn't it a great sense of reassurance to get the guys out there past 7, knowing in the NCAA tournament anything could happen and depth is critical?
Yeah, man, Julian played great. Big O played great. AC had some great minutes too, and he's part of our lineup, but he's part of a 7-man rotation. But to see those guys come out and have a little bit of confidence and show their game off is great. And we love it on the bench when those guys go crazy. We love cheering them on.
Your grandma was here at the game, and that was something that you didn't get to see a lot of during this year of COVID. What was it like to see her in the stands rooting you on?
Grandma D is somewhat of a good luck charm, spark plug, if you will. She really gets the job done for us, and it's great to see her and my grandpa in the stands too. I know they're big Zags fans and big Corey fans, so I'm really happy they got in the stands and were able to see me play.
Maybe you answered this next question already. Maybe Mama D is the answer, but why can Gonzaga be the team that goes all the way this year?
We play for each other. You could see it on the floor, the way we share the ball, the way we pass, how we're excited for each other's success. It's it shows through everything we do, and I'm so happy to be part of this team. The way we play for each other is something really special, and it makes the game a lot more fun, and coincidentally, it also helps us win too.
Thanks, Corey. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, of course, Ali. Thank you.
Brian.
Well, they got a great compliment. His coach says he's everything college basketball should be about. And they are very proud watching their son play. He's going to be some kind of force. He's been all year in his whole career. Tournament games continue live now on CBS, True TV, and TNT. For Jim Jackson and Allie LaForce, Brian Anderson saying so long from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. You've been watching the NCAA tournament on TBS. The Zags are moving on.